From bankruptcy to billions, the remarkable rebirth of Nokia. 1. Opening. Nokia, once the undisputed king of the mobile world, reigned supreme at the turn of the 21st century. In 2008, the company posted a staggering $76 billion in revenue, dominating the global mobile market. From the brick-like phones of the 90s to sleek devices that became synonymous with mobile communication, Nokia was everywhere. But in a matter of just a few years, the company would experience a catastrophic downfall. The world watched as Nokia lost its market share and exited the industry, seemingly headed straight for bankruptcy. But just when it seemed like the end, a new chapter began. A single man, determined to revive this fallen giant, stepped in and sparked one of the most remarkable comebacks in tech history. This is the story of how Nokia went from the brink of collapse to a surprising resurgence in the modern smartphone era. Join us as we explore the rise, fall, and ultimate rebirth of Nokia, a tale of innovation, missteps, and an unyielding spirit that defied the odds. 2. Chapter 1. The glory days and the first cracks in the armor. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, Nokia was the undisputed leader in the mobile industry. With impressive revenues and rapid growth, the company dominated the market with its durable, user-friendly phones. Iconic models like the Nokia 3310 became synonymous with mobile phones, known for their long-lasting battery life and indestructible design. At its peak, Nokia was a symbol of reliability and technological innovation, consistently releasing new features that set trends in the industry. However, even at its height, cracks were beginning to form in Nokia's armor. Despite being at the top of the game, Nokia failed to recognize the seismic shifts occurring in the mobile world. The company remained rooted in its established strategy, relying on its aging Symbian operating system. The real turning point came in 2007 when Apple introduced the iPhone, a revolutionary device that would change the mobile landscape forever. Steve Jobs unveiled a sleek, touchscreen device that offered an entirely new user experience, contrasting sharply with the bulky, button-based phones that Nokia was still producing. The industry was shocked. The iPhone's combination of simplicity, functionality, and the groundbreaking touchscreen interface set it apart from anything Nokia had on the market. Yet, Nokia failed to grasp the significance of this revolution. Instead of adapting to the changing times, the company dismissed the iPhone as a niche product. They mocked its design and continued to focus on their outdated operating system, Symbian, which quickly became obsolete in comparison to the new generation of smartphones. This inability to pivot marked the beginning of Nokia's gradual decline in the mobile industry. 3. Chapter 2. The missteps, when innovation passed Nokia by. In the years following the launch of the iPhone, Nokia's failure to innovate further solidified its decline in the mobile market. While competitors like HTC and Google quickly embraced Android and began developing smartphones that were well aligned with the changing demands of consumers, Nokia stubbornly stuck with its outdated Symbian operating system. In an attempt to fight back, they introduced the N97, which was touted as the iPhone killer. Unfortunately, it fell flat. The N97, with its slide-out keyboard and lackluster touch sensitivity, failed to deliver the user experience that was now expected in the rapidly evolving smartphone market. The main issue was Symbian itself. While once a leading operating system, it could no longer compete with the power and flexibility offered by Android and iOS. Symbian's outdated features, combined with a clunky interface, made it difficult for Nokia to keep pace with the increasing demand for more intuitive, app-friendly systems. While other manufacturers were capitalizing on the growing app ecosystem, Nokia was left with a limited and outdated selection in comparison. The N97's failure was a clear indication that Nokia was increasingly out of touch with the needs and expectations of its consumers. Meanwhile, the competition was rapidly gaining ground. HTC, Google, and other players like Samsung were advancing at breakneck speed, creating smartphones with cutting-edge features and powerful operating systems. Nokia, on the other hand, was still clinging to a fading legacy, unable to deliver a truly competitive product. This growing gap between Nokia's offerings and the innovations of its competitors further cemented the company's fall from dominance. 4. Chapter 3. The bold move, Stephen Elop's risky gamble. Stephen Elop, appointed as the CEO of Nokia in 2010, was seen as the man who would turn the company around. With Nokia facing mounting challenges, expectations were high for Elop to bring fresh ideas in a new direction. However, his handling of the crisis led to controversial decisions that would change the course of Nokia's future. One of Elop's most famous moves was his burning platform speech, in which he dramatically declared that Nokia was standing on a burning platform, acknowledging the company's dire situation. While the intention was to galvanize change, the speech had unintended consequences. It weakened the trust of shareholders and consumers, painting a grim picture of Nokia's future. The damage to the brand was immediate and severe, as it portrayed the company as being on the brink of collapse. Rather than opting for Android, the clear leader in the smartphone market, Elop chose to bet on Windows Phone. He argued that a third ecosystem was necessary to compete with the duopoly of Android and iOS. This decision led to a strategic partnership with Microsoft, with Nokia shifting its focus entirely to Windows Phone. Although this partnership brought in significant investment from Microsoft, it also led to a major failure in Nokia's product strategy. The Windows Phone operating system, despite its uniqueness, failed to capture consumer interest and developer support, leaving Nokia further behind its competitors. The decision to rely on an unproven OS would prove disastrous. And the Lumia line of smartphones, launched with great hopes, never reached the success Nokia had envisioned. 5. Chapter 4. The Lumia Disaster, a dream gone wrong. When Nokia launched the Lumia 800 and Lumia 710, the company hoped these new smartphones would revive its fortunes and challenge the dominance of iPhone and Android. However, the Lumia devices failed to make an impact. The Windows Phone interface was drastically different from the user-friendly designs of its competitors, leaving many users confused and struggling to adapt. The operating system's unfamiliarity and lack of intuitive features made it difficult for consumers to connect with the devices. Several issues plagued the Lumia line. The Windows Phone ecosystem was severely lacking in apps, which was a major drawback compared to the vast selection available on iOS and Android. Additionally, the hardware of Lumia phones was limited, and their performance fell behind rival devices. These factors contributed to the failure of Lumia phones in the market, as they failed to impress consumers and couldn't establish themselves as credible competitors to the established smartphone giants. The failure of the Lumia 800 marked a clear sign that the Windows Phone strategy was not working for Nokia. Despite the initial hype, Lumia devices couldn't live up to the expectations and couldn't help Nokia regain its lost market share. As the company's prospects continued to dwindle, many began to question Stephen Elop's leadership and loyalty. His close ties to Microsoft, especially his decision to bet solely on Windows Phone, led to growing skepticism about his ability to steer Nokia to success. Internally and externally, confidence in Elop's direction began to erode, contributing to the company's ongoing downfall. 6. Chapter 5. The End of the Road, the Microsoft Takeover. After the failure of Nokia's Windows Phone strategy, Stephen Elop made the controversial decision to return to Microsoft. This move led to Microsoft's acquisition of Nokia's Devices and Services division for a staggering $7.2 billion. As a result, Nokia lost its control over its mobile business, marking the end of its dominance in the industry. The acquisition allowed Microsoft to absorb Nokia's technology and expertise, but it also signaled the final chapter of Nokia as an independent mobile giant. With the acquisition, Elop, along with several key leaders from Nokia, made the transition to Microsoft, leaving Nokia weakened and devoid of its once powerful leadership. This shift caused a further blow to the company's morale, as it now had to face the reality of its inability to adapt to the changing smartphone landscape. Nokia, having lost its market share and strategic direction, struggled to keep up with the rapid advancements in mobile technology. The acquisition by Microsoft marked the formal end of Nokia's ambition to lead the mobile industry. Nokia, once the global leader in mobile phones, was now reduced to a shadow of its former self, grappling with its place in the rapidly evolving tech world. Despite its rich history and initial success, Nokia's inability to evolve fast enough and the decisions made during its final years led to its downfall. Now under Microsoft's control, Nokia's future in the mobile industry was all but sealed. 7. Chapter 6. A New Hope, HMD Global and the Resurrection of Nokia. After the failure of Microsoft's acquisition, Nokia found a new path to recovery under HMD Global. A Chinese company that acquired the rights to the Nokia brand, HMD Global decided to bring Nokia back into the smartphone market by embracing Android. A departure from the ill-fated Windows Phone strategy. This decision marked a pivotal moment in Nokia's revival, allowing the company to tap into the growing Android ecosystem and reach a wider audience. HMD Global's decision to use Android over Windows Phone proved to be a turning point. Models like the Nokia 6 and Nokia 7 Plus garnered significant attention and praise for their build quality, sleek designs, and competitive pricing. These devices reintroduced Nokia as a strong contender in the mid-range smartphone market, with a focus on delivering reliable performance and durability, traits that were once synonymous with the brand. The success of these Android smartphones marked an important milestone in Nokia's comeback story. HMD Global not only revived the iconic Nokia name but also stayed true to its legacy by prioritizing quality and durability in its designs. With Android now powering its devices, Nokia was able to offer a more modern and competitive experience, appealing to both old and new customers. Through this strategic shift, Nokia was able to carve out a new niche in the smartphone industry, steadily regaining consumer confidence and laying the foundation for a promising future. 8. Chapter 7. Looking to the future, Nokia's path to recovery. Nokia's journey to recovery has been impressive, even if it can't fully return to the peak of its past. While the company may not dominate the mobile industry as it once did, it has carved out a solid niche in today's competitive landscape. Nokia's continued focus on innovation and developing creative, reliable products has allowed it to maintain its presence in the market. Beyond smartphones, Nokia has expanded its reach into emerging technologies, positioning itself at the forefront of the 5G revolution. The company is also making strides in the Internet of Things, IoT, and connectivity solutions, aiming to play a vital role in shaping the future of digital infrastructure. These strategic moves have allowed Nokia to adapt to the rapidly evolving technology world, ensuring its relevance in industries beyond mobile phones. As for the future, the question remains: can Nokia return to its former glory as a leader in the mobile industry? While regaining its previous dominance may be difficult, the company's innovative approach and diversification into areas like 5G and IoT offer a promising path forward. The next chapter of Nokia's story is still being written, and its ability to evolve with new technological trends may well determine whether it can once again become a key player in the global tech market. The future of Nokia holds much potential, and it will be interesting to see how the brand navigates the ever-changing landscape of technology in the years to come. 9. Conclusion. Nokia's rise, fall, and eventual resurgence is a powerful testament to the resilience and adaptability of the company. From dominating the mobile industry in the 2000s to facing near bankruptcy, Nokia's journey has been one of monumental change, missteps, and tough decisions. The company's failure to adapt to the rise of smartphones, particularly the iPhone, and its subsequent decisions under Stephen Elop, including the ill-fated partnership with Microsoft, left it struggling to stay relevant. Yet, against all odds, Nokia managed to bounce back through its strategic partnership with HMD Global and its pivot to Android, a decision that brought new life to its brand. While it may never return to its glory days as the world's leading mobile phone maker, Nokia's recovery has been impressive. Today, the company continues to innovate in fields like 5G and the Internet of Things, ensuring that its legacy lives on in new forms. As we look to the future, Nokia's adaptability and focus on new technologies position it well for continued relevance in an ever-changing tech landscape. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the remarkable story of Nokia's rise, fall, and rebirth. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on all our future content. Let us know in the comments what you think about Nokia's journey and whether you believe the company can once again become a leader in the tech world. Until next time, stay tuned for more exciting stories from the world of business and technology.